Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome. How is everyone doing? I'll give some shout outs here as we wait for everybody to come in. Cheryl, hello. Jackie, hello. Free to be me. Hello, hello. Yes, I'm not sure what to think either. Juror 11 in the house. Hello, everybody. So, we got some things to talk about. I know there's a lot of talk going around there, and there was a video that was put out of Chris meeting up with Seth and all that goes with it. But I'm looking a little deeper than that, you guys. I'm looking a little deeper. You know me, my mind is just turning. I'm getting intuitive feelings. I'm getting a lot of stuff going on here, and there's some points that I've been going over, you guys, videos of what's been going on in this case for a while. I had a week off to recuperate. During that time, I've been, even though my eyes were covered because of the headaches, I'm listening to these videos. I'm listening to who is saying what. And I've got some things that I want to go over. Doss, you do? Hello. Git. Hello, hello. Patricia, hello. Nana, hello, my love. Trisha Jane. Angeline. Butterfly Dana, hello, my dear. Hello, Brianna. Rebecca says, how are you doing? Haven't heard from you at all about Sebastian. I've got a lot of videos. They're all under the live tab. And I only come out with stuff, you guys, when there's something new. I'm not going to go. I know there's a lot of people that go live every night and have these conversations. It's just the same stuff over and over. I don't go live, you guys, unless I have found something that I haven't discussed. I mean, there's just no sense in it, right? Because sometimes it's just keeping drama going. So when something new comes up or I found something else, then I do jump on live. Anticipation will buckle up, you guys. Brianna, thank you so much. Carla, hello. Butterfly Dana. Marie Burke's in the house. Jason, always nice to see you. No, I don't think it's turning cold. I think there's a lot of things going on behind the scene, you guys, and we're going to go over all of that. Why the police haven't named any suspects, everything. We're going to go over it, and I'm going to give you my take. And I'm going to ask you what you think. So let me get each individual thing out, and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to ask you guys what you think of it. Okay? Cheryl, Lisa, Charissa Jane, hello. Crazy Graham, hello. Kate Bell, GE. Yeah, it can get pretty disgusting. Barbara. Hello, Barbara. No, I don't. And Brianna says, do you think it's like the Summer Wells case? No. But there is a case that I think it's leaning a lot towards, and that's the laundry case. There's a couple people in the comments. When I put out that post yesterday, there's a couple people in the comments that hit it on the head. And at the end of that comment, I said, this is giving me the laundry vibes. If you guys aren't aware of the Gabby Petito Brian laundry case, where he took her life while they were out living in a van and whatever, we're going to get to that. I think KP put, Cheryl says, think KPCP put him, Sebastian, into home. I don't think that. This is nationwide. His face and what's happened to him is so far and wide. I don't think anybody is going to put themselves in a position to harbor him and chance being charged. There's a lot of resources. You got the Secret Service, FBI, police, helicopters, drones, search dogs, all There's no way somebody would put themselves, because they'd be on the hook to cover all those expenses, right? So I don't think that is the case. Mary Michael, hello, hello. Brianna Barker says, gave me chills. Laura Williams, hello from South Florida. Hello. It's a little warmer here today, too. Mimi, listening to all the different ideas and channels. It's the first time watching your show. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for being here. There she is. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ms. Michelle, hello, hello. So before we start, I want to give a couple shout outs. Thank you so much for your super sticker. It goes a long way to help this channel, and I really, really appreciate all your support. I also want to thank PayPal supporters, Isabel, Linda, Ruth, Colleen, Cindy. Thank you all for your PayPal donations. I appreciate you. Angeline says, baby boy is gone. Yes, I believe he is too. So welcome, everybody. Okay, so the first thing we are going to talk about, I'm going to bring this up on screen. Whoops, the window. This is what I'm going to bring up on screen. So a lot of the internet is going nuts. Mary as Leslie, hello and welcome. Regarding this confrontation, I'm going to make this bigger. With, this is Chris and this is Seth. Mary T. Dell, hello and welcome. To me, this is a very aggressive stance that he has towards Seth. Now, we've all seen the video. I've got the video here and loaded if you guys want to see it. But I want to go deeper into this. Okay? Chris approaching Seth, number one, right? It's like, what the hell? Out of the blue, Chris and Katie have not been searching. They haven't been doing any flyers. Everybody's been calling them out, right? No, we're just getting started, Carol. Everybody's been calling them out. Suspects number one in our opinions, in public opinion. I'm going to give a disclaimer. This is allegedly, this is entertainment purposes only. This is my opinion alone from everything that I've been saying. People's comments are their own in the chat. Not attached to me at all, but I'm going to give you my opinion. And this whole video is going to be my opinion only, and allegedly from what we know. I'm not going by all these rumors that are out there and you know, all these people making stuff up. Did you guys all see the one where I've got Sebastian? You know, like crazy stuff like that. I don't give the time of day to you guys. It's just ridiculous, right? Angeline says, why wouldn't they just surrender him over to the county child agency? Well, I've already given my opinion on that, and I think it's because they would all be charged at this point. You know what I mean? No. This butterfly, who was that? Are we sure it's not Seth in the black jacket? No. This here is Chris, right here in the hat, this gray hat. This is Seth right here. This is Seth's vehicle. This is Seth. This is Chris. So now what I want to get to, and then I'm going to open it up and ask you, we're going to try and stay on each individual topic because I want to get you guys' opinion after I bring out what I want to bring out. Now, number one, Chris shows up. They haven't done nothing. Him and Katie haven't done zilch. They've taken off, blah, 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 blah. We all know the story, right? They've not done nothing. Chris shows up at this vigil. Number one, where's Katie? Where's Katie when Chris shows up to confront Seth? In the picture right here that you're seeing. Where is Katie? Again, Thank you very much, Rose, for your donation. Where's Katie? Because we surely know where Katie is after this confrontation. They're at a motorcycle shop looking at new Harleys. Why are they at the Harleys? Why are they there? But let's go back to here. Why isn't Katie there? Okay. Laura Williams, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Which gets my mind turning. Let's stay on this topic right now. Where's Katie when this is happening? Okay, because there's a reason I'm asking that, you guys. Where is Katie? Now, don't forget, Katie was at this time, as far as we knew, back at the house, and Chris was 200 miles away at the trailer, right? Where's Katie when Chris decides he's going to confront Seth at the vigil for Sebastian? Where is she? She's not there. Okay. First red flag, right? Second red flag to me is, Chris wanted to talk to Seth alone. Did not want Katie there. This is me. Okay. Dawn, thank you so much for your super sticker. Now, which gets my mind turning again. Why didn't Chris want Katie there? Why wasn't Katie there? And Chris made a comment that I can't shake. He said to Seth, okay, everybody else is jumping on, oh, there's swearing going on and yelling and screaming. I get past that. Hang on a sec, you guys. I look past all that. Okay, that's distractions. I'm looking past all that. I'm looking at why Katie wasn't there, why Chris decided he wanted to confront Seth alone, and the comment he made. Never mind the screaming, the yelling, the cursing, the swearing, and being assertive the way he is here. Never mind all that, you guys. Okay? Never mind all that. Never mind, do you think he has something on Seth? Never mind all that. That's smoke and mirrors, you guys. Chris says something that everybody is just gazing over. What Chris said to Seth apparently is he wants to work together now. We need to work together. We need to keep things under wraps. We need to, all these things that he's saying. Why? Chris makes a comment. I'm trying to get Katie on board. Katie's not on board. Okay? And I have to keep myself on track. Otherwise, it's gonna be like squirrels with their nuts all inside my head, like 120 tabs open, and I don't know where the music's coming from. You know what I mean? That's what's going on in my head right now because there's so much, and I don't want to miss anything. So Katie's not there. And he says, never mind, you guys, all the cursing, swearing, arguing, fighting that you've been hearing that's been going on in this confrontation. Two things are important to me. Why is Katie not there? And why does Chris say, I'm trying to get Katie on board? To me, and don't forget, you guys, worked in the criminal system for over 30 years. I did interrogations of people. I did interviews. I did a lot. I worked for PIs. I did a lot in my 60 years on this earth. Okay? I'm going behind what's happening. And I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Why is Katie not there? And why did Chris say, I'm trying to get Katie on board? So, what does that tell us? What do you guys think? What do you guys think that tells us? Katie, number one, is not all for this year. Them talking, Katie is not on board. Katie don't want Seth anywhere near them. Who thinks that Seth's being a real jerk off right now, Katie? Why is he saying all this about us? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? We need to tame him, right? Right? Thank you, Dawn, for your comment and your super sticker. Thank you so much for your support. I love you. Thank you, everybody who is supporting. Shul says Seth doesn't know. Does Seth know what happened to Sebastian? We're going to get to that. Katie don't want her son back. I think Katie knows exactly where he is. And I think, okay, I think that Chris now knows. I honestly don't think, and you guys, please don't jump all over me. Initially, whenever something happened to Sebastian, I don't think he ever made it back from the restaurant. We're going to get that clear right now. That's just my opinion. I don't think Chris knew until that phone call. Who talks for 3 hours and what did they talk about? Well, she says she's studying for something for school, reading a chapter. You can't read and talk on the phone at the same time. So, and there's been so much that they've said, right? Contradictions, everything. Does it matter? Yes. But I look behind that as to why. Why? Why? Yes, Chris has also said different things, gave different statements, contradictory statements, but why? Never mind the statements. Why? Why are these things changing? That's what we need to look at, you guys. We got to pay attention, yes. When there's a difference in story, yes. But along with that, we got to ask ourselves, why? Why are these statements changing? I know why they are with Chris. I don't think Chris was there when this happened to Sebastian. And I know that's against popular belief, but I don't think he was there. Does he know what happened now? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think money is involved. A lot of people are talking about money. Right? I don't think it has anything to do with money, really. I think it has a lot to do with a lot of different things, but I don't think money was one of them. We know that Chris was trying to get custody of his daughter, and we know from prior statements that he wouldn't be able to do that because of accusations going around about Sebastian. He didn't want Sebastian near his daughter. This is one of the reasons why he was trying to convince Katie to give Sebastian to Chris. Okay, so that's the story behind that one. Katie wasn't fully on board with giving Sebastian to Chris, to Seth. Sorry, I'm getting all these names mixed up. And if I get them mixed up, I'm sorry. It's not intentional. Chris had to convince Katie to give Sebastian to Seth because that's the only way that he would be able to get custody of his daughter. Like, if that was to ever happen. Sebastian was one of the things, and what's happened with Sebastian. And I'm not going to get into all the accusations because we don't know if they're true or not. But I believe in Chris's head, Sebastian couldn't be there if he was going to have any chance of getting custody of his daughter. Okay. So where are we? So the whole thing of this right here was for them to start working together, right? That's what's being said. I think there's more to it than that. I think that Chris gave Seth some indication of, if you ever want to find Sebastian, you got to give me some time. I think He's trying to convince Katie to break and to give up what happened to Sebastian. That's what I think Chris is trying to do. Is he lying in the meantime? Is he covering things up in the meantime? Absolutely. But I honestly think that he is trying to convince Katie to come forward with what happened. I honestly do. I don't know if Chris even knows where Sebastian is, but knows that Katie did something to him. And I think the phone call, the 3-hour phone call, was her discussing with him what happened, what she did. That's what I think it was. That's exactly what I think it was. And then after 3 hours, it's like, just go to bed, sleep on it, call in the morning and say he's missing. That's what I think happened. That 3-hour phone call was, we got to figure this out. Just call in the morning, say you woke up and he was gone. We'll figure it out. That's what I think that 3-hour phone call was. Okay? That's exactly what I think it was. Now, if he did make it back to the house, did something happen at the house and she put him out? But I think that 3-hour phone call, I think she spilled her guts to Chris and told Chris what happened. That's what I think. Good afternoon, everybody coming in, and welcome. Also, we're going to get into other things too. I could be all over the place here, you guys, but there's a lot that I want to get out. So with this, let's work together. The latest as of just 8 hours ago, Chris says we're all going to start working together. We knew Katie was at the house. Chris had gone back to the trailer. Well, guess what? Katie's back at that trailer, and Seth has come out and said that he's been trying to reach Katie. Until today, he still has not been able to reach her, and she is now back at the trailer. So how much of this is actually true? How much is bullshit? I believe this here was call off the dogs, stop talking about us, stop bringing information out if you want to ever find your son. I think that Katie is wanting time. Chris and Katie, none of their families ever searched, right? Where did she really go that morning when she couldn't find Sebastian? Where did she really go? She drove around the neighborhood. Where did she really go? Right? We don't know. Another thing, Katie said that he wasn't a runner. He never ran away before. But there's a neighbor that came forward that lives across from them, and like not directly across, but 2 doors down, but across the street. And he said that they found Sebastian hiding under his son's car at one point. Why was Sebastian hiding under their car? This is a neighbor across the street and 2 doors down. Came out and said that they had found Sebastian hiding under his son's car. What's up with that? Why was he hiding? What was he running from? What was he hiding from? Big red flags, right? Another neighbor said that she'd seen him out wandering around on the streets. What's up with that? But he's never run away before. He doesn't go outside and play. He doesn't have a lot of friends, right? Take this all into account. I want to get this all out, you guys. I'm going to talk about the security. Why was there no security on that house? We know that it was installed, that there is a panel in there for ADT, because before they bought the house, we seen pictures of an ADT sign there, and we seen it on the wall. So her working for a Brinks security company, why don't they have security on their house? Especially, I talked to a couple of people who have autistic children, and their first thing that they do is make sure that the house has extra security, because some kids, whether they're autistic or have other problems, tend to take off. So they put little alarms on their doors so they know if the kid's taken off out the door, stuff like that. So this isn't just a normal family. This is a family with an autistic child. She works for a security firm, which means she'd probably get a huge discount on security, but they don't have it on their house. But you know where they do have it? They have it on their camper. There's a big old security picture. Let me see if I got a photo of that. I don't know why this isn't coming up. Let me see if I cannot bring it up here. You guys can't see it. Dang it, hang on. Entire screen, here we go. That should do it. There we go. Here's the camper. Okay, so this is where they're camping. As of last night, both the truck and car are there. Right here, I know it's hard to see in this picture. Right here, they've put a security camera up. They also have this awning out now. These are tip outs. They have a security camera right here, pointing at both their cars and this area here. So it's covering this whole area. So anybody tries to come up to this door or mess with their cars, right? There's another picture of the camper. So there's two tip outs here, and there's one on this side. This is the truck and this is the car. Both are there as of last night. But they do have a security camera now on the camper where they are. But you don't have security cameras at the house, which they do now. From what the information that I've got is that they do have security cameras all around their house now back in Hendersville. Okay. This here. Seth has not heard a word from Katie. He's been trying to contact her since they've made this pact that they're going to work together. And I think, and my belief is that Chris is saying, he's already told Seth, I've got to get Katie on board. I think Chris is trying to convince Katie to come forward with what she did. I'm not so sure that it was an accident. I think she lost her shit. Obviously, the camper is more important to them than their house, because that camera on the camper went up before the cameras on the house. And that's another thing I've said. If I said this on another channel that I was watching, the thing with these dogs, if there was tracking dogs, if that was Sebastian that took the garbage out that night, the dogs would have had a hit. Number one, she said he left without shoes on, which gives the tracking dogs even a better scent, because the sweat in your body, your normal body odor, if he was barefoot, skin cells, stuff like that, it would be a better scent that the dogs could get from him being out there taking garbage out or leaving with no shoes on, right? If he took the garbage out that night, the dogs would have picked up his scent, and they didn't. Those dogs would have gone towards the side of the house, and they didn't. No scent of him leaving that house. No CCTV, which we brought up in my last video, where she says the CCTV footage is so grainy you wouldn't be able to see because it's so dark. Well, those garage lights above the garage from what Chris said are on 24/7. The garbage cans are almost underneath those lights. The cameras would have picked him up in that lit up area where he would have had to take out the garbage. Were those lights turned off for some reason that night? The one night that he goes missing or takes out the garbage that they need an alibi, that one night those lights all of a sudden aren't on? No. So that's that on that. Hey, Lady D. Hello, everybody coming in. Oh, Michael says, I think Sebastian was overstimulated from a big day. I think she did something being overtired under the influence of alcohol. He had something wrong with his head and was extremely fragile. We don't know. Did she move him in the vehicle? Right? We don't know. We don't know. I don't think he ever made it home from that dinner. And if he did, it's still on her. She did something to him. Did she take off with him that night? Is that why the garage lights were out? Did she throw him in the car after doing something to him? Or did she, that's enough, I had enough of you. Did she throw him in the car and drop him off somewhere, hypothetically, allegedly, my opinion only? Did she take him out of that house and do something to him somewhere else? So there's no indication at the house and no indication in her car of any wrongdoing. DNA in the house and DNA in the car, unless it's blood, would be normal because he was always in and out of that car. So hair and stuff like that, skin cells, would be normal because Sebastian was always in that car. The only thing that wouldn't be normal if there was any like blood, right? I believe Kate's involved right from the very first video, from when she was rocking back and forth, trying to console herself. We seen that in the Orrin and Orson West case, where the adopted mother swayed side from side. That was comforting herself when she was being questioned, comforting herself. And I seen the same thing in Katie. I believe that this whole thing here was, look at, I'm trying to get her to come forward. Seth, you need to shut your mouth. I need you to stop doing what you're doing. I need you to rein in these people that are coming at us. If you want to find your son, if you want to find out where he is, I've got to get Katie to come forward, and she ain't going to do that with all this going on. This is what I'm saying is going on here. If you want to ever see your son again, whether that be deceased or alive, you got to shut your mouth. Bring in these people. Rein them in. Tell them to shut up. Stop talking. I've got to convince her to come forward. But I can't do that without your help. Shut up. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking is going on here. That's what I'm thinking is going on here. Right? A lot of people have taken what Seth says, and everybody else can F off. I'm looking behind that. Why would Seth all of a sudden say that? I had to really think. Was it because of what was said here? Now, there's another thing that came out, right? With Chris saying that they're going to have their own vigil type thing with all these biker friends in 2 weeks. That's when I think this is going to come to a head. Okay? So we got Chris and Katie saying that he's not a runner, but we've heard from neighbors that he was out wandering around. They've seen him doing that a lot. And one neighbor saying that I found him hiding under my son's car in our driveway. So we know that's all a lie, right? With Katie saying that he wasn't one to take off. Apparently he did, and he hid under somebody else's car. Why? The 3-hour phone call, that's not normal. And it's also not normal for Chris not to come home for a month. There's more to this, you guys. What could they possibly be talking about for 3 hours? I think it was about what happened with Sebastian. Okay? That's what I think. The big thing here, too, is Chris saying, I'm trying to get Katie on board. Katie still to this day will not talk to Seth, although Seth has reached out to her, and now she's taken off from the house and she's back at the campsite. Right? So why, with everything that Seth has come out with, why would he now agree to team up? I think it's this. And I'm getting this here. Look at Seth. Shut the F up. Rein in the troops. Shut up if you ever want to get to the bottom of this. I'm trying to get Katie on board. He said that. I'm trying to get Katie on board. Why doesn't Katie want to work with Seth? Because Katie knows what she did. Chris now knows what she did. I do not think Chris was involved in what happened to Sebastian, but do I think that he knows now? Yes, and I think he found out on that 3-hour phone call. And he's got to now shut them up. And the only way that he has any chance of getting Katie to finally spill her guts is to shut up Seth. He needs Seth to rein everybody in. Of course, he knows what happened now. I do agree that he knows exactly what happened to Sebastian now. I do not think that he was involved initially with what happened to Sebastian. Why this happened? I think she was scared of losing her husband. She knew that he was cheating on her, and she's terrified of losing her husband. Chris did not want Sebastian there anymore because that hindered his ability to get custody. I think they fought a lot about that. And this was her way out. Also, if Sebastian went to Seth's, could they have ended up facing criminal charges for the beatings on Sebastian? This poor kid was failed by everybody. He did speak out about getting hit by the belt. He told the teacher. That teacher called CPS. They have to report. Mandatory reporter, right? CPS comes, and apparently, if we can believe anything that Chris says, which I don't believe any of that regarding the belt. The CPS didn't believe Sebastian. You got to stop that. He's given multiple stories about the belt incident and why it happened. They gave multiple time frames. He had made a comment, well, what else do you do with a 15-year-old? Well, he only turned 15 in December. I brought that out a couple weeks ago. So it's been within the last 3 months, but he's in another interview. He said it was at least 3 years ago. No, it was only 3 months ago because Sebastian only turned 15 3 months ago prior to that incident, right? I think Zami Zank, Real Paranormal Investigations, says maybe Seth is so wore out and he's hopeful that teaming up, he get updates. Yeah, but that's not happening. I think that you could be very well on point there. That he was hopeful, but from this confrontation over here, where they're now going to work as a team, he's not been able to get a hold of them. Right? They're not working together. And she's now back at the campsite. Okay. Where's Katie? Where's Katie? We don't know, but we know where they went after this incident. They went motorcycle shopping. They were seen at a motorcycle shop, and they were both there, Chris and Katie. Chris left the visual, must have went and got Katie, and they went motorcycle shopping instead of being at this visual, since they're teaming up now. Right? So let's speak on something else. February 26th, he goes missing. All this, well, is reported missing. All this crap is happening. March 4th, the police transitioned this case from a missing persons, a runaway, whatever you want to call it, to an investigation. At one point, one of the officers did a boo-boo and said a criminal investigation. Let's talk about that. Hello, Spirit Walker. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why have the police not named a suspect? Why has Katie or Chris not been named as a suspect? Teacher called CPS. I don't know. It didn't give a date. That was Chris answering a question to, I think, one of the interviewers. I don't know. I've watched so many at this point. Why haven't the police named anybody as a suspect? I'm going to tell you why. Because once you're named as a suspect, you're going to shut up. You're not going to talk to them anymore. We heard Katie in her last interview that she's in contact with police daily. Well, that's more than what Seth is getting. Contact with the police daily. Okay, and everybody's going, well, why does she get to have contact with the police daily and Seth doesn't? Here goes Willow again. I'm looking behind the comment. Katie, you're a fool. Police are in contact with you daily, so they know where you are. They haven't named a suspect because once a suspect is named, that person is going to shut up and not talk to police anymore. Right? At least now, right now, nobody's named a suspect. Police are talking to her daily. What's that do for them? Information, story changes, things that are added, things that are taken away, things that are made a priority for her now. They get to talk to her about anything and everything. And they're getting a clue each time they speak to her. And because she's comfortable, because they're not named as a suspect, she's going to continue to talk. Once she's named as a suspect, all talking is going to stop and she's going to lawyer up. Right? And police keeping in constant contact with her. Okay, well, if you need to contact me, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be there. Here's a number. Here's where I'm going to be. You think they're going to get that if they name her as a suspect? They're not going to know where the hell she is. She ain't going to talk to them anymore. Right? They're going to stop talking. They're going to stop talking and they will lawyer up. Right now, with police still being able to talk to them and maybe, hey, we came across this. What do you guys think? They're getting information each time she opens her mouth to them. Whether she thinks it's just an update for them or not, they're having contact with her daily. They know where she is at all times, right? And even though she is saying, you know what, I went to my grandmother's in Florida, that's a point of interest for them. And that's just hypothetical, okay? Talking to her and not naming her as a suspect yet is keeping them in constant contact with her, and they know exactly where she is each step of the way because she thinks, I'm special. The police let me know everything, but you also let the police know everything too. Right? Chris has made this comment about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And this is what sparked my interest, hence why I put the comment yesterday. It's starting to smell like the laundries. Let's team up. We're going to team up now. We're going to play fair now. We're going to team up and we're going to find Sebastian. I wonder who it's going to be that leads them to Sebastian. Is Chris and Katie? Oh my God, look who we've come across. We found him. Whether he's alive or not, I guarantee you it's going to be one of them that either call in a tip anonymously or lead Seth to Sebastian because they know where he is. My opinion. I don't think Ellie is talking to Seth as much, K. Mitch, because he spills the beans on everything, right? All comes back to this comment that Chris made. I'm trying to get Katie on board. And Katie is refusing. Is Chris going to give her a timeline? You've got these 2 weeks to the vigil to come clean as to where he is. Or he's going to say something. I don't know. But I do believe that Chris knows now. If he didn't before, he does. And I think he found out in that phone call. And Katie not being with Chris when he has this confrontation with Seth. Right? There was another comment that Chris had made also a couple weeks back about Seth either going to church or finding the church. If you want to find Sebastian, find the church. Right? So we got a comment from Chris saying, I'm trying to get Katie on board. And if you want to fight Sebastian, something about you better go to church. Something about a church. Do you remember the area that I had first talked about? That wooded area behind the church that's just down the road from them. That whole wooded area goes right down across that side of the road. And there's also a not used road that goes up to a cell phone tower. Like, how often do they got to go up there? I got that area, all that wooded area there. That's where I think he's going to be found, is up in there somewhere. That's just my opinion from what I got. Now, apparently they're meeting at some Long Hollows church for their vigil in 2 weeks. And this is from the time of this vigil that Seth just attended. So in 2 weeks, we're having our own vigil. It's going to be at the Long Hollows church, I think. They're going to all meet up. There's supposed to be some motorcycle thing. And Chris says he's trying to get Katie on board. And he says, again, to Seth, if you want to find Sebastian, you got to find the church. Is that connected? I don't know. I don't know, but it's odd to me. It's odd to me. Yes, that's the church I'm talking about, Karen, the one right across from the high school there. I was drawn to the wooded area that goes from behind that church all the way across down to the cell phone tower. Was Chris really saying, give us 2 weeks? Give me 2 weeks to get her on board? I don't know. But he would need time to get Katie to try and tell the truth. Is Katie... We've seen in the laundry case, they went camping. They went for a dinner. They went camping. They got together to see their son before he went and did what he did after taking Gabby Petito's life. Right? I hope this isn't going to be the same kind of scenario that happens with Katie. But that I can't get it out of my head with Chris saying, I'm trying to get Katie on board. Pinky said it's an odd statement if it isn't relevant. I think it's very relevant. If you combine out of everything that Chris has said and all the lies and bullshit and everything else, those two are sticking in my head. Chris saying he's trying to get Katie on board, and that if he wants to find Sebastian, he's got to find the church, or he's got to start going to church. I think those two statements are everything in this. Everything. There's a connection. There is a connection. So does she need 2 weeks? Let me just enjoy the next 2 weeks of my life. And I'm going to come out with what happened. I know back on March 4th, the police put out a statement that it was the case was transitioning from a runaway to an investigation. One cop at one time slipped out a criminal investigation. We know it's a criminal investigation. Truth for Us says something. My worry is Chris is setting Seth up, including placing evidence from Seth DNA without Seth's knowledge. I don't know. I don't know. We know that marriage doesn't really mean much to Chris anyway, since this is his, what, 5th, 6th, 7th marriage. I think he's going more into self-preservation mode, like, I don't know. I believe he's been moved too. And I'm still being drawn to that wooded area that runs from that church across from the high school over to the cell phone tower. Does Chris need a couple of weeks more to get Katie to tell the truth? She knows she's going away for a long time. She's going away for the rest of her life. Is she trying to get as much out of life packed into these couple of weeks that she can? There's a reason she doesn't want to be at that house. Right? Does she need 2 weeks to get her stuff for her things in order? Get herself together? Get things set up? Get things in order? Right? So I'm going to go to some of the comments, you guys. Shelley says, I'm wondering also if you notice Chris kind of has his hair and beard cut the same as Seth's. Is he trying to look like him for some reason, right? Yes, I do believe he's close to home. I believe he's in that wooded area between the church and the cell phone tower. Okay, Vera Ray, you take care, hon. It'll be up. I agree. It's extremely sad, the whole scenario. Yep. We can only hope. She-Wolf. She-Wolf says, pray Katie breaks her silence before the 2 weeks. So I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen right around that time. I think, like, why would you want to have your own vigil when there's been 2 that you guys didn't attend? It's not for you, Chris and Katie, or for Seth. It's for Sebastian. So take that into account, you guys. Why do they feel the need to have their own? As if it's for them and not Sebastian. Think about it. I'm reading behind the scenes. Is this vigil that she's praying actually for herself? My worry, CP setting Seth up. Yep. I'm trying to get through the comments here, you guys. They're going fast, so it's hard to see them. Karen says, thank you for talking about this. Yes. It's not something I enjoy doing, but I feel like there was some things that I need to bring out, especially with the security. We know ADT was already came with the house pre-installed. She works for Brinks, so I can see her not wanting to use ADT, but why wouldn't you put up a security system, especially with an autistic child? Like I said, I spoke to a couple people that have autistic children, and young and older, around Sebastian's age, and they put little alarms on the door so they know if these kids are going in and out, because they need that extra security when you have an autistic child. But they didn't do that. But now they put one up on their camper to protect themselves so they can watch their vehicles. Their vehicles and their trailer and themselves were more important because now they've got security cameras up on their trailer. They're concerned about that, but they weren't concerned enough to have it at home when Sebastian was there. Okay, we're not talking about what's posted other places, because a lot of misinformation, a lot of stuff that's not even factual is coming out that, oh, I don't even want to repeat some of the stuff. The biggest one that was going around is, I have Sebastian, I found him on the side of the road, stuff like that. All this crap that's out there, I don't bring it here. Thank you, says you just nailed it, Willow. I think that whole 3-hour conversation was about what she did to Sebastian. We don't know if she even went out during the night, right? Did she go out and put him somewhere during the night and then go back the next morning just to make sure that there wasn't cops all over that or whatever, because she hadn't reported him? Or, I'm going out looking for him. She was out looking for him before she reported him. So it's like, and as she's out looking for him, that's when the three-way call happened, from what they're saying, because Chris tells her, go back home, the police are going to be there in any minute. So did she go back to the area where she disposed of him just to make sure he hadn't been found yet? She had 20 minutes. Absolutely. The truth always comes to light. Everybody that I talk to with autistic children and children that have behavioral issues, ADHD and stuff like that, they take extra security, whether that be putting security on their house or little alarms on the doors and windows. They do something. She did nothing, and she worked for a security company, right? Yes, almost 2 months now. In 3 days, it'll be 2 months. She reported him missing early morning of February 26th. Vera Ray says, my nephew crawled out a window. His dad is a fireman in EMS and he put alarms everywhere. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying like wire the place up like a jail, but they take extra precautions, where these two took none. Yes. Those green hearts in there for Sebastian, you guys. So it's kind of concerning, and also concerning since Chris said we're going to work together, but now Seth can't get a hold of them, and Katie's taken off again from the house, and now she's gone back to the campsite. If you believed your son just ran away, you wouldn't be leaving your house, number one. You'd be waiting for him to make his way back home or be found and be brought back home, right? And now that they put cameras on their trailer, they're more concerned about their vehicles and themselves than they ever were with Sebastian. That says a lot. Yep, they got him on their camper now. And now apparently the house has no trespassing signs and security up. Right? I'd like to know who's seen him on the 26th. Because the last known proof of life was him leaving. That Seth's seen the video of them leaving the Texas Roadhouse after dinner. But there's been no sighting that I know of him that could be positively identified as him since then. There's a grainy footage of him taking out the garbage. We don't know that it was him. And why wouldn't the dogs have ran over to where those garbage cans were on the side of the house when they brought in the dogs? If Sebastian would have taken out the garbage, they would have been running back and forth between the garbage cans and the road, because that was less than 12 hours ago that he apparently took out that garbage. That would be a strong scent still. But no, there was nothing. Right? Your wife's home alone all the time with an autistic child. Why wouldn't there be security there? Because you're not there to protect them. Everybody else, it seems, minus maybe one or two, have at least Ring doorbells. And we know that because I listened to that whole 911 tape of them going around and knocking on doors and asking about cameras. 90% of the people around there had cameras. Not the Proudfoots. Especially with a woman alone 24/7 with a child, and he hadn't been home since the beginning of February. There's a lot to be said with that, you guys. It was said after this here that he's trying to get Katie on board. There was an interview that Seth did, and he said that's what Chris said to him. My son has ADHD, and in the 70s pediatrician had me put a chain lock on the outside of his door when he was little to keep him from escaping. Yeah, there's precautions that you take, right? When your child suffers from something like this. At least on your outside doors. You know what I mean? Like me, I know when my kids were young and growing up, anything that could harm them, like cleaning products, medicine, stuff like that, were in a locked cabinet. So they could still roam the house, but they couldn't get out the doors because I had the alarms on the doors when they were little, up until, they became older. Even then, I still kept them on there because teenagers are known to try and sneak out at night and go drinking and everything else. So I had them on the doors. It doesn't hurt anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt to have that. It doesn't hurt to put those precautions, especially in today's society, to put those little alarms for under like $100. You can go to the local hardware store and buy those little electronic ones. I've got them on my windows here, even though I've got security cameras all around my house. I've got the little ones on the window. You open that window. Here, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now, you guys. Listen to this. What happens if I open my window in my office here? without turning this off. Whoops. You hear that? So if somebody can dodge my cameras and still try and get into, like, all my bottom windows have them on. Did you hear that? Do you hear how loud that is? So somebody tries to open one of my windows, say they get dodged by the camera or they break out a camera or something. On the bottom floor of my house, all my windows have those alarms on them. And Ellie is on their way to Willow. No, those ones aren't attached to my security system. Those are just little ones that you can buy at any hardware store. They're little alarms. And they stick on each side of your window. And when you open the window and it breaks contact with the other piece, that alarm goes off. So even if somebody happens to dodge my camera and tries to break in, I've got thousands and thousands of dollars of just recording equipment and stuff in this front office here. Somebody happens to dodge one of those cameras. I got cameras inside too, but there's spots that it doesn't cover. You can get in one of my bottom windows, break it or whatever. That alarm's going off. And I mean, I used to keep my grandkids when they were smaller. They're all a lot older now. But when they were smaller, my youngest grandchild is now 10. But when they were little, 5, 6, you're damn right. I got them on my windows. So if they try to get out the windows, they couldn't get out the doors because I had the little lock on top. But I mean, if I do it with just my grandchildren, and it's more protection for your house, especially in today's society. For under, I think I got 8 of them for under $100. I think just under $100 for 8 of those things. Is somebody's life not worth, $89.99? Tammy Zink says, I got trail cameras outside. Yeah, I've got a whole security system. It's all linked in. It's the actual recorder is locked away. Like you wouldn't even know where it is to find it. So even if they break out my camera, I still got it recorded on my recorder, right? And then I've got these things on my windows and my doors. You open my door without turning that off, it's going off. If you put it up high enough, you can't reach it. Or a 15-year-old going to try and sneak out of the house. That's the last thing that they think about. Oh, I better turn off that little alarm on the window. No, they just easy up the window there. Damn, that thing goes off. I'm telling you, you hear it. It's loud. And then all my cameras would have picked it up anyway. But they had nothing. Having an autistic child, they had nothing. But I do believe that there is more to this conversation that's on the screen here. And I think this is Chris. I can't see Chris just doing this for no reason. I think Chris is trying to get Katie to come forward with what she did. Does Chris know? Absolutely. And that's why I think Seth, just hearing what Chris said, I think that's why he said what he said the way he said it. Because I think this is some of the language that Chris used towards him. Call off the cavalry. Call them off. Like, what the F are you doing? Do you want to effing find Sebastian or, find out where he is? Effing call them off. Is that why it's Seth? Just like, F off. We're going to work together, F off. Like, okay, stop it. He wants everybody to stop it. Like, stop going after the Proudfoots because I need to know where my son is. And the only way that's going to happen is if Chris can convince Katie to tell him. Right? Anyway, that's my take, you guys. You guys can let me know what you think. Even the replay crew, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, give the video a like. I'm going to do some more deep diving into this because there's some time frames. Seth is the reason for the division. Some people think so. Some people do think so. Some people don't. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinions. And I do, respect your opinion, snowflakes. But I see a guy that's just trying to find his son. You know what I mean? I don't think Seth is an angel in all of this. Do I think there's other things that aren't being told? Absolutely. But we gotta stay on point. And that's why I said, like, at the beginning of this, it's like, never mind the cursing and swearing and everything that's going on here, because that's just smoke and mirrors. You got to look at behind what's being said and why, right? So thank you, Tammy, for subscribing. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Man, I forgot what I was just about to say. There's reasons why certain things are being said. And if you take away all the lies and this and that and blah, blah, blah that Chris has said, because in there, you know how I've always said, you guys, in every lie, there's a little bit of truth, right? I've always said that. You guys that have been here for a long time know I've always said within every lie, there's a bit of truth. For instance, okay, when Chris said, it was like 3 years ago I hit him with the belt, when in actuality, it was 3 months ago, because he said something about, well, what else do you do with a 15-year-old? You whack him with the belt. That comment. And it was like, he realized after he said it, whoops. And at that time, Sebastian only turned 15 3 months prior in December. So in every lie, there's a bit of truth. It wasn't 3 years ago, it was 3 months ago. Okay. And the same is with Chris saying, I'm trying to get Katie on board. And then if Seth wants to find Sebastian, he's got to go to church. And now they're all, Chris and Katie now, they haven't been going to any vigils that were set up for Sebastian so far, but they're going to do one of their own. It's making it about them. Look at me, please pray for me, pray for me, look at me, pray for me. It's about her. It's not about Sebastian. If it was just about Sebastian and a vigil for Sebastian, they would have been at the last 2. This vigil that I feel personally coming up is all about Katie. This is a vigil for Katie. Poor me. Look at me. Oh my God, me. Look at me. I don't think it's about Sebastian at all. Carol. Oh, it's a shame that the only sure ways to get the truth are illegal. Thank you, Nana. Much love. Big hugs. So that's what I think, you guys. That's what I've put together out of this. There's a few more things I'm not going to mention right now, but there's a couple other things that I'm looking into because you guys know I like to verify everything. So there's a couple other comments that were sent to me that I haven't heard them yet. So I want to go to those videos that they are. Well, one isn't even a video. It's on TikTok, and I don't do TikTok, but I guess I'm going to have to go to TikTok and check that out, because if I don't hear it come out of somebody's mouth, then I'm not going to talk about it and put it out there as truth. And they're interesting if they're true, but I want to see the actual video. Jillian says there's been 5 or 6 vigils now and they haven't been at even one of them. Yes. So why are they having one themselves in 2 weeks? And that date was for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And I'm just putting that together with what Chris has been saying. I'm trying to get Katie on board. I'm trying to get Katie on board. If you want to find Sebastian, you got to go to church. They're meeting at Long Hollow Church in 2 weeks. So did Chris give Katie another ultimatum? You got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to come clean. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been able to verify that. So that's why I have heard about it, Angela. Apparently one of the neighbors said that they seen Sebastian's bedroom light go on and off. But I haven't been able to find that anywhere, so that's why I haven't discussed it. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I haven't been able to verify it yet, that is reliable information, so I haven't talked about it. But that is one of the ones that I'm looking into because they said it was more than just the bedroom light. So I am looking into that, trying to get verified information on it. And I mean, when stuff like this comes out, it's like, why hasn't it come out in the last 2 months? That's why I want to look more into it. And I'm not saying, Angela, that you're trying to spread anything like that. I'm just saying, I don't know where you heard it. We don't mention other channels not here, so I don't want you to mention it. But to me, and that's what I'm saying, there's a couple other things that I'm looking into, and this is one of them. I heard it wasn't just Sebastian's room, it was another room too, that the lights kept flickering on and off. But the thing is, when you got to think about it, right? If this is true, why wasn't this told 2 months ago? Right? When they were going around talking to all the neighbors, and apparently it's a neighbor that come out, the same as this guy that's come out and said, I have him. I found him on the side of the road. He doesn't want to go home, blah, blah, blah. Why didn't that come out 2 months ago? It's the same as with this. Why didn't this come out 2 months ago? That's why I got to look more into it, hon, and just vet it first before I will bring that out as any kind of fact or anything. Amy says, agree with you, facts only. I haven't heard that. I may do another read. I may. But this is why, you guys, if you don't see me out here every night talking about it, I don't believe in doing that, right? Unless there's a lot, like when we were watching the Cavalcante thing, every day it was something, they were chasing him down and everything. I'll be on every day for that. But unless I've come across information that I feel is important, like the security stuff, like not being able, okay, this argument that's up on screen, I took some time to really go over this in my own head and really look at what I'm seeing, not just the yelling and screaming and cursing and swearing and this and that. I look deeper. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to just jump online with, oh my God, there's a rumor going. I don't care about the rumors. I don't care about the rumors. I want to try and vet it the best that I can. And I think doing due diligence, and like, I believe in keeping Sebastian's name out there, but some of these channels have been going hog wild with just the same stuff over and over and really nothing new. And what I don't want to do is get it so people just go, oh, there they are again. They're online again. Nothing new. You know, like what happens if he is found? You know what I mean? People, oh, well, yeah, that's that clickbait. There, he's not found. They're not going to watch you. You know what I mean? So if I put up that I've got a video coming out, it's because I've come across some stuff, right? And I've vetted it. So I just want to say that, you guys. And that's why I'm not jumping online every night and talking about it, because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your guys' time. And I don't want to put out false information. What if I would have jumped on? Like, everybody's emailing me, oh my God, Willow, some guy is saying that they have him. Some guy's saying that if I would have jumped online and said, oh my God, you guys, somebody has him. Well, we now know that that was a hoax. Well, how would I look like? What would I look like? Like, no, that's not me. Not going to do that. Yes, I believe that that custody hearing that Chris was supposed to have with Nina was put off because it happened right around the time Sebastian went missing, which is odd to me. You know what I mean? If you want me to get rid of my son because you don't feel safe, you're bringing your daughter here with my son here, well, you're not going to have your daughter either. You know what I mean? I get them kind of vibes. Like, no, I'm not getting rid of my son to have to take care of your daughter. Right? Kalina, I pull cards every morning, and to me, nothing's changed. And like I just said, I believe he's still in that wooded area between the church and that cell tower. I do think that it is coming up again, but there's no judge on earth, you guys, that are going to give him custody of his daughter right now. If he goes through with this hearing, you might as well save your money and just withdraw your application, because there's no judge on earth that's going to even want to even give you unsupervised visits at this point when a child went missing from your home. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say it like I always do. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please just be vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings. Keep your spidey senses going. Your gut will usually tell you long before anything else if you're in a situation where something's wrong. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Okay, so thank you, mods, for being here, keeping everything in check. Thank you, all you, for coming in. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below the video. For all the replay crew, thank you for all the super chats, super stickers, all your support, you guys. You guys rock. Okay, thank you for everybody who has subscribed, became a member. Thank you, you guys. I love you guys. To the moon and back. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.